Hi, this is Jennifer Westrick and Trudy Ellerman, and our facilitation discussion is on the article, A Review of Assessment Issues in Gifted Education and Their Implications for Identifying Gifted Minority Students. So to get started, there we go. So the authors were recognizing that societies differ in their valuing of gifted abilities, and the methods that are used to assess and evaluate gifted potential reflect on that society's beliefs about giftedness. So this article is a review of research and literature that deal with the issues of assessment, because ultimately the assessments are what determines who will be recognized and educated as a gifted student. So there were several purposes to this article, and one was to provide background information on issues that affect identification of gifted minority students. Another one is to provide insights into the implications for developing more effective identification procedures. And the third one is to suggest directions for formulating a new approach to the resolution of the problems of identifying gifted minority students. So the article had three terms that they wanted to make sure they defined to clarify their position. So they say assessment isn't just test, that it covers more than test. It refers to the entire process of nominating, referring, screening, classifying, the diagnostic testing, and program and instructional planning and evaluation. So when they talk about assessment in this article, they're talking about the whole process. When they talk about potential, they're talking about the capacity or capability for unusual attainment in all children. And when they discuss equity, they are talking about providing fair, just, and impartial access to appropriate educational experiences. Oops, sorry about that. So this article also gives us three reasons that they have found for underrepresentation of minority students in gifted programs. They are test bias, selective referrals, and reliance on deficit-based paradigms. So underrepresentation of minority participation in gifted programs is attributed to biases in standardized tests based on test content and the format, the differences in performance, and the purpose that the test is used for. What are the results used for? What are they going to do with the results? The authors make the point that standardized tests discriminate against students who differ from the dominant group, and the dominant group being white, middle-class, native English-speaking populations. Referrals, the second reason, selective referrals. Referrals are generally the first step that is used in the identification process. And research has shown that students and teachers and other school professionals continue to have a low academic expectation for culturally and linguistically diverse students. So they're less likely to refer culturally different students for gifted programs. And the third reason for low referral rates is this reliance on deficit-based paradigms. There has been a focus on deficiencies rather than on strengths. So this focus on deficits made identifying the strengths of minority students difficult. The stress on the deficits diverted attention away from minority students who had achieved or who were achieving despite the characterization of cultural deficiencies. And now Trudy will continue the presentation. So if you will click on the next link, Trudy will take over.